Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's your host here at Wima Sports, indeed championing sports development, and we are at Osoita Lodge, where guests become family. Speaking of guests, we have an amazing family here with us today, and if you can introduce the name of the family, please.
Well, I'm Josephine Nyokabi Laborde. I'm Issa's mom.
And Issa?
So my name is Issa Gachingiri Laborde, and I'm
So the last name, I want to try and pronounce the name Laborde.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Laborde. Laborde in English, and in French, if you try, it's Laborde.
Yeah.
You pull the Laborde.
No, I'll mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, today is a great day indeed where we are discussing a sport that Kenya participates in and that Issa represents and flies our flag high in. And this is a sport that is not common in Kenya because of our weather. And when do you participate? Is it during winter games or is it...
When I participate,
Yes.
When you practice this sport.
I practice in winter in mountain in France, and maybe the summer with stamp stay with training, summer training in high mountain, which is very expensive, so it's depending.
It depends.
It all depends. Actually, they are training throughout the year. We have winter from end of November to April, mid-April, where they train every time in the snow. On Wednesdays, Saturday and Sundays. Normally weekends are for the competition. When you're in a school where it's a mid-school of sports school, they train also on Monday morning or probably Friday afternoon also, throughout November to April. And just before, between September and October, they have camp trainings in a part called the Alpes in France, or they also go to Austria, where they still snow up on the glacier. And during summer, they do physical training to prepare them for the winter.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard, we are talking about snow, and indeed we have already broken the ice and we are continuing the conversation. So today we are going to bring you dreams carved in snow, and how Issa Laborde is taking Kenyan alpine skiing to new heights, inspiring young people, inspiring the entire Africa. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy, I'm excited, and I hope all going to function to be good.
Yeah.
And yes, it's very good. I'm very excited for that.
Is it easy?
It's not easy, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yes, and that's what we'd like to let people know, there's nothing that's easy.
Yes.
People make assumptions that, you guys are based in France, you can figure it out. It's never easy, right?
No, it's never easy. Even though we have the snow on the mountains, he's been working, since he's been practicing this sport since 2 years and a half. And from 5 years, he gets into a club where they have to go, they have to engage themselves and be present every weekend. They wake up early at 5:30, 6 to be on time. And in order sometimes to finish earlier, because during the day there's no changes, and it's a kind of water when it's at the end of the winter. So I can say from the time he was 2, during winter he always wake up to work, and it's cold, and sometimes it can go up to -20. So it's not that easy.
Representing Kenya, in alpine skiing is a very unique goal. Reason being, we don't have snow, we don't have ice. But could you tell us more about what drives you to represent your country and your Kenyan roots and Africa to the international skiing stage?
Idea come 1 year ago, and I speak with my mom about that in the last of my training day, and we have the idea en même temps.
The idea almost the same time.
Yes, almost the same time. And when she sent the message at the knock, I hoping is working, and yes, it's
Definitely. How do you feel about this as Issa's mom? You've seen him grow in the sport. You've journeyed with him. What can you say about the process and everything?
The process just came just like that last year, 2022. I remember it was on February. I took him for his training, and in the car while I was driving back him to the training, he told me, "What if I represent Kenya?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I would like to, because I meet with some African countries in some of the clubs that are nearest to him. We have Togo and Madagascar being represented, and they do train with them, they do catch up with them." He had shared with the one of the mother, and I think she kind of inspired or gave this idea to Issa, and Issa was like, if we are here and we are Kenyan and have a chance to have snow and trip, why not represent our Kenya and have a connection between the countries where there's snow and the countries where it's dry, and maybe give a chance to, I can say, maybe the diaspora children to have a contact with their country. So when he told me that, I was like, I never had it in my head. I was like, why not? I was so excited. Let's say I'm going to send a message. That's when I sent a message, just like a joke. And then I received a message back that the message wasn't, did it arrive? I contacted the NOC. They replied quite fast for the first time. And that's when he said, well, we are going to start it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And when he told me, I was like, we've been living on the snow since I arrived in France in 2005. I like the snow, and the brother and the sister also do ski. The dad was a rescue patrol on the snow, so we have lived on the snow, and we love it. So when he told me that, I was like, sure, what a great idea. I'd like to share this with my Kenyans back home, and get back to my home and share this experience in the snow. The idea wasn't like to bring snow to Kenya, but it was kind of share with the athletes and Kenyans here, not only to take them to the snow, but to maybe have an open mind of outside.
Yeah. And what's I've seen a great purpose behind this is also what you said, is reconnecting diaspora children back to their country.
Exactly.
It's not just about competition.
I can't say it's just about competition, because when he talked to me about it, I went checking out where are African countries on the snow, and I realized we were around 5 countries that were represented on the last Olympics. We started following up Sabrina Simade, who's been representing Kenya, and the idea was that being as a Kenyan and a French father, we have children who are mixed.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can see the difference of this mixture that brings a stronger fruits, I can say, maybe because I have my experience back in Kenya, my living back in Kenya.
Yeah.
And when the children mix it, we have children in France who tell us, how do you do this? And I'm like, I'm lucky I come to Kenya. I use my experience back to Kenya, or the advice I got from my grandparents, my parents, my sisters. And the dad does the same. So it was more in not only just competing, but exchanging. And sharing. Yes.
Yeah. Issa, how do you plan to promote the sport in Africa or in Kenya? Let's bring it home in Kenya.
I don't know now really, but I hope Kenyan going to like skiing, because I like it, and I'm going to feeling good. If Kenyan like skiing, it's like I love that. So if one day I come in Kenya and some people say I want to go to ski, I like sea ski, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
And yes.
So are there facilities, are there internal or indoor facilities of skiing in France or in some of the countries you visited?
There's one or two indoor ski. We have
In France, we have one, but in Europe, I don't know really, but most.
we have one in Europe when we have less snow where the clubs go train. And we have some in the last one was where? What did they go?
I'm going at Alpine in a town in France,
This
and there is another indoor skiing in Belgium, I think.
Belgium.
Belgium.
Yes.
And
Are they?
we actually he participated on the Children's World Championships in April this year. And when we were there, we met Kenyans coming to ski for winter. So we were so surprised.
For fun or just?
For fun. They usually come every year. Val d'Isère, France, not far from our home, to ski. And that was just amazing to see a Kenyan person with a flag there skiing. It was a group of Kenyans in bench. Here, we were very surprised. I never met to meet them, but when my husband at the debut, we met them. And Issa met them. We were supposed to meet, but it was a little bit complicated because he was preparing for the competition. And the idea was, so we have Kenyans who got for holidays to ski. We can share that. And when we met with the NOB, Francis Motuko, and we met Paul Tegat on the snow with Sabrina Simade, the head came for Sabrina Simade, and we saw the Kenyan flag on the snow. It's just amazing being on the snow. I've never seen Kenya. They have seen Kenya here on the snow. I was so inspired by it. He was, and since he usually follows the athletes in Kenya, he usually tells me, I think I have a lot to learn from Kenyan athletes, where they get their motivation, sometimes without materials to train.
Yes.
And he also feels like he needs to share his experience as an athlete since he's born with some Kenyan even youths that he follow, and I find that admirable.
Yeah, that's really great.
I think that's what maybe he can bring to Kenya, exchanging with athletes who are in here, training here, and Kenyans who are outside, because we have another Kenyan in France that they met during the competition, who wished to represent Kenya, and another Kenyan from Italy that they were invited to South Korea with. And when they exchanged, they find that they have a lot to learn to be stronger.
To be stronger.
Yeah.
So you have something to say?
No, it's up. He said.
These facilities, are they really the indoor facility? Is it really expensive creating one? Do you think so?
The ski?
Yes.
Indoor.
The indoor
skiing.
To create indoor ski?
Yeah, to build.
Can it be expensive?
I think it's expensive and not economic.
Not economic because of the climate. We have if it's the indoors, they have to create the cold part of it inside, bring the snow, and maybe I forgot the name in English. In climate, with the climate change.
With the climate change,
maybe it's not the best idea to have the indoor skiing.
It might not be viable.
Maybe it's going to be. We are now trying to make to save the climate change and everything. I'm not sure if it will be a great idea.
Yes, those ambitious businessmen. Look, there is an opportunity for business, sports business, right here at Wima Sports. You've set really ambitious goals, including participating in the 2024 Olympics, Youth Olympic Games, representing Kenya in the Winter Olympics. What steps are you taking to prepare for this major?
I'm going step by step, but I want to train. For start, I want to have a good training in the summer. Like I can start the season of competition early to start my first competition to get points, and like this I can qualify in Youth Olympic, World Championships, and Olympic Games. So now I'm focused on Youth Olympic. I hope they're gonna be functioned, and yes, I hope I can go in Youth Olympic game in Korea, South Korea.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I believe you'll make it.
Yeah, in order to get qualified, he needs to have some points that are called fees. It's the International Ski Federation points that they should do at least 2 races and to get qualified. The South Korea camp training that was recommended by the NOC, I think prepared them, and they imagined the upcoming competition in South Korea because they visited the place. We have communication with the NOC that they proposed them another camp training normally that's supposed to happen in December. And once we are back to France next week, he'll straight away start the physical training in September, and end September, October, he'll start racing for these fees points. And normally by November, December, he should know if he's qualified for this or after this camp training in December.
Okay. So speaking of training, how has your training evolved since you were young to now? And what does training what do you do for physical training during summer? What do you do if there's someone who'd just like to learn about skiing and want to know what to do?
I start skiing in club when I was 5. When you are young, you do ski for pleasure, not really competition. So I do ski in Wednesday and weekend. I do that in my club to my 13, and at my 13. My coach tell me you can go in skiing school to ski most in the winter and have a bit
more training lessons.
More training lessons for skiing, and so I go for 2 years in a ski school for training and learn together. And last year I can't go in skiing school, so I go in the normal school. I need to do skiing just Wednesday and weekend. Normally, when you go back to school, I'm starting a new school skill. Like this, I can train most. And in the winter and in the summer.
Okay. So what are some of the practical things for training?
Normally they do running. What they do is physical training.
Training and a bit musculation.
Working on the muscles and in order to have their legs and their bodies still stronger. Because they usually train a lot during winter. And when there's no more winter, there's no more snow, they need to keep their bodies working to keep the muscles still stronger. So they usually run, they do skating, they do swimming, they do mountain biking. What else do you do?
That's
and they have some training camps 1 week or 2 weeks in June, July, sometimes in August. That they try and go get the snow from the glacier. When the winter is over, we have the mountains that are up higher that still have snow.
Yes.
So they continue going there when it's possible, because this becomes expensive because it's out of winter season.
Out of winter season. Yes. Yeah. Throughout your journey, Issa, maybe, what are some of the challenges you've experienced? And how have you overcome those challenges?
I don't really understand.
What was hard throughout these years? What was hard for you?
To be in normal school is difficult because I see my friend training in the week, and me at school. So I can't have the level I want to have if I'm not training in the week. So that is a bit difficult because when I go to the competition, I saw my friend who have training 2 times in the week and me nothing. So it's a difficulty to have the level I want to have.
Actually, from the time he was small, he was in club, as he said. He started as from 2 to 5 years. It was kind of a pleasure and discovering the sport. And once the children want to confirm they want to do that, from 5 years, they get into a club, a skiing club, where they ski throughout the weekends, school holidays, and Wednesdays. And that's what he did. And when he was 13, that's what he said earlier, the ski club proposed some athletes who had potential to go further. And Issa was one of them. And they went to a boarding school where they could train throughout and have classes organized differently from others. And the challenge was last year, that's what he said, he had 2 years of this school. Last year, since it's much expensive, he went to a normal school. And it was frustrating for him because he was saying he had to have classes like normal children, not do sports. So on Mondays when he goes to classes, he see his fellow friends going to train. That's also frustrating. He was like, they're going to train, I'm not training. And during the weekend, they had races and competition. And he felt he had less training that penalized him. So this year we tried, he's going back to his skiing school. The knock helped a little bit. And he's going to have to get trainings like others. And the most frustrating part of it was that one, or maybe the transport, because before we used to live in a resort. Then we shifted an hour further. So we have an hour of transport before getting to his club. So sometimes that's a hard part of it because sometimes, because we are working as parents, sometimes we ask him to take the bus. We drop him to a bus stop. He take the bus to go to the club. And sometimes the weather is bad. They close. They don't have, let's say maybe he arrives at 9. And then it's so windy, so the resort closes and the children need to go back to their homes. So he calls us and said, the training is closed, I should come back. Like, I'm working, your dad is working, you're going to wait the bus because it's a resort place, we don't have a lot of buses. We need to call like that we have a bus, so sometimes he has to wait like an hour outside the snow on the cold. Because I can't leave work and go get him. That's also the hard part that I can see during winter because he has to take the bus, wait 1 hour. And when he arrives at the bus stop, I have to finish work before going to get him. It's complicated because sometimes he needs, early in the morning, it's already dark. During winter, we have shorter days. So the sun rises around 7:38 sometimes. And the darkness comes around 5 in the evening. So most of the times, in the morning, he's leaving the house, it's dark. And when he's coming, it's dark.
It's dark,
That's the hard part of winter. But as he said,
the ski is very
loves,
so it's hard, but easy to
accept.
That.
Well, it's a passion.
I don't have the choice to accept. If I don't want to wait, I stay at home.
Because sometimes we used to tell him, this weekend they have announced the weather is going to be very hard, there's wind, maybe it's better you stay home. And normally you say, no, I'm going to go. You say, you're going to stay outside? No, I'm going to go. So we say, okay. Now he's bigger, he's 16. We say, you can go.
You take care of yourself while you're there.
Yes.
So one blessing you have is you started the sport early, despite challenges here and there. You started it early. How has this starting early influenced your skills and approach to the sport?
Why I started early?
No, you.
The fact that you started skiing early, how did it help him?
Yes, influence his skills and approach to the sport as compared to, in Kenya.
Those who started much later.
Much later.
Yeah.
Okay. I start early because when we live in a ski resort, all children do ski. So my father is rescue patrol, is to do the rescue in the snow. So he likes ski, and naturally, he going to do ski. And,
You go to ski naturally.
yes, and after I fall in love. Say that. Yeah. About ski. Like, if everybody do ski, it's like if you don't do ski, it's not normal if in the ski resort. Somebody stop skiing when we are adolescents because he want to go with friend, and it's difficult to go in training. But I like that since my 2 years. So yes.
How did it influence him? I think what he's saying is, since we used to live in a resort, normally all schools that find that and the resorts, not the village, I can say it, proposes skiing lessons to children. So it's like every Wednesday we have to go to ski. It's like when we used to be small. I remember every Friday we had to go running.
Yeah.
So in the ski resorts, all children know how to ski. But up to 5, that's when they say if you want to go, you go to a club or you stop skiing, and then they stop skiing. And I think it came naturally because since the dad was a rescue patrol by then, we are on the snow, we get out, we have the snow in front of the house. Naturally, you get to like the snow. That's how the brother started skiing. That's how the sister started skiing. She was just 2. And when she used to see the brother going with the skis, she used to say, I want to take my skis, I want to carry them. No, they are so small, let me try. No, I want to carry them. And I think the fact that they have it there, naturally it comes acceptable. As for me, I didn't start skiing when I was more like him, but I remember when I was inspired to go to France, I remember when I was in Kenya, I used to say, I'd like to touch the snow. That's why I chose this part of snow. Yeah. And when I touched it, I was curious to try skiing, and I started skiing. I don't ski like Issa. I cannot go to races. I cannot do competition, but I do ski, and I love it. And I think someone just needs to love it, accept the cold, accept to wear a lot of clothes, the gloves, to ski. Yeah. And the moment you start earlier, that's how we came to realize with our children, because they started earlier, things are much easier. They accept easily the cold. They learn how to warm themselves when we are outside. Because sometimes we have some friends coming from maybe Paris with us, and when we go outside, we see the difference of the person who's been living on the snow and the person who don't live. So my children usually tell their other children, try jumping, try doing like this, try. You see, they are used to it just because they are used to it. So I think it naturally helped them to adapt themselves much earlier.
Yeah. So Issa, you are a student, you are an athlete, you have family, you have small younger siblings to play with, you have time with mom, time with dad. How do you get to balance all that?
It's easy because the family wants to me the better. So maybe with my small sister, it's difficult. She said, Issa miss me, and she's small, so it's normal. And my dad and my mother and my brother is a bit bigger.
Do understand? And yes, normally it goes all alone naturally. But as for the sister, I think because she's more on the end, we are kind of very close because we live together, we practice all sports together because we all do ski. When we drop him to ski club, we go skiing with the brother and the sister and the dad. Every Saturday when he leaves, we leave. I don't work on Wednesday, so when he trains, we also go do it as leisure for leisure. But the sister, because she's small, most of the times when he has to leave for 2 weeks, it's hard for her. Because she's like, I'm going to miss you. She cries. When she went to South Africa, it was hard for her. That's the part of where Issa finds himself trying to balance for the sister.
But I think my family
Understand
when I was happy. So when I go to ski, the family is so I'm happy. So it's not difficult for us to go 2 weeks and don't see family for 2 weeks. And after when I come back, it's do naturally too.
And how do you balance with schoolwork?
It's difficult too, but now I'm starting what I see a school skiing. So I'm going to do school in the summer, and the winter I'm going just ski. So it's most easy than my last year when I do ski, and my winter is very
full. The winter is very, very full because they have classes in the training. And as we said, the last year he had this normal school, so he had to work double, being in class and doing everything that he had to do, and going training and racing. And so when he finishes classes around 5, sometimes they finish at 5:30 and they start at 7. The following day he has to wake up at 5:30 to go training, race, and come back and do his homework. But since this year he's going to get into a school skiing, normally they have a calendar that is organized. They ski a maximum between November to March. And from April up to June, they have more work to do in classes than skiing because they only do the physical training. So it's much easier for that.
Issa, you did if you could elaborate a little bit more on your participation with some French words here. Could be what?
Coupe d'argent. Ski club Vojani. Yes, the ski club is called Vojani. That's the name of the village where he trains. Yes, and the Coupe d'argent.
Is championship for the region, and all ski club do this racing. And when you do these races, you do points, and like this we can qualify for national race and international race.
Okay, the Coupe d'Argent is the regional races that all clubs that are in that region do race, and the best ones goes to the national races. Yes.
So what's looking ahead, how do you envision the sports of alpine skiing within Africa and within the events that you'd like to participate in, like the Winter Olympics and all that?
How do you see yourself in Africa and sports and your plans for the
Sorry.
What's your future like? What do you envision?
I don't know now, but I hope all function correctly. All be function correctly. Like this, I can do my education, and representing Kenya is good too. For me, for my mom, for the family in Kenya. Yeah. And I hope I can go in this race, like Youth Olympic and Olympic Games. Mm-hmm. For now, I hope for Youth Olympic. I hope I can go to Youth Olympic. I hope to do my best, and like this, I don't have regret.
You don't regret.
I don't regret nothing. And after, when the thing is lancé,
Started.
when the thing is started, I am going to do good training in the summer, good training in the winter, and I'm going to see what I want to do in Olympic Games or
Actually, what he's saying is he's like to start off with the Winter Olympics or the Youth Winter Olympics,
yes.
January. And one it started because it's been going a little bit slowly. One it started, I think he's going to see more forward because he's aiming for the 2026 Winter Olympics that's scheduled in Italy. And there's World Championships where?
In 2025 in Austria.
In Austria. It's hoping to participate with that. But in the meantime, he's more concentrated for the youth that is much, much, much near.
Yeah. Baby steps, each step at a time, as you work towards your goal. So long as you put in the work, you give your all, things will fall into place. So just keep working. So lastly, I'd just like you to look at this camera and just give a message of advice to young athletes like you and inspire them or give them a word of encouragement.
And do your best and don't abandon.
Don't let go.
Don't let go. It's difficult. It's difficult for me. I think it's difficult for all athletes. So do your best and cry.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Yes, sir. On to the quick fire segment. Your best sports athlete?
In Kenya?
Wherever.
My best sports athlete? I'm French, so the footballer Kylian Mbappe. I saw that coming. I like this person. And in ski, the same, the French skier. There is good in competition, so I like Alexis Pinturo, the French skier, Clément Noël is French skier. So I like it, and it's good. And in Kenya, I like it run, coureur.
The athletics.
The athletics run, like Omanyala or... I know, forget.
Yes.
Yes, it's good. Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Them.
I like them.
You can like them, huh? Ferdinand Omanyala, Kipchoge. Kylian Mbappe, you kind of talk like Mbappe. Do you know that?
I talk like Mbappe?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I actually wanted to say it in between, but I said, no, let me wait for the...
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's admirable because he started very, very young also.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think he visited his African country, I think, this year, right?
Yes, I saw that.
And look at you, you're in Kenya. So your best sports documentary, if you have?
Oh, I don't have best sport documentary, but all sport documentary I like is all sports when it's like football or basketball, ski, running. I like see the documentary of sport.
Your best basketballer?
Oh, I don't.
Probably you can ask best mountain biking or BMX because he does that too.
Oh, you do that too? Wow. How many sports do you do? You do mountain biking?
I do mountain biking, or wheelchair, BMX too, ski for race, everything. Yes.
And I assume you can as well be good in triathlon. Maybe
triathlon.
Yes.
I don't know. Can you?
I don't.
You swim?
I swim, but I don't think triathlon is good for. In athletics sports, I think when I was good is sprint. But when the sports going longer, I don't really strong.
In sprint. Yeah, he's saying actually normally in France when you start training in sports, the more you are getting older, the more you confirm where you are more stronger. So in a way, he's saying in sprint, he used to be good in it, but the more he's older, there are the others who trains a lot, so he finds himself less good in that, and he's more actually more in skis.
Okay. Speaking of skiing, and you're in the snow, your best recovery equipment or best recovery method, how do you recover from intense workout?
Topomet. After training, when you're tired and you come back, baby, how do you recover from the tiredness?
To be ready for the next session.
I think you good shower. It's like I am, and I sleep well. I sleep early.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go to sleep like 20. I go to sleep at 9 hours. Like the next day,
He don't even need to choose, because normally during winter we noticed after we eat, he's the first one to wake up and say, I'm going to bed. He's so tired. Normally in winter they are so tired. All the children's wine ski club, they have a long training and races and happen. And let's say in Saturday, when he comes from training, he has a race on Sunday. He gets a shower. He has to do maybe his homework. I try to cook much earlier, like that by 7:30 we are eating. And normally he's the first one to go to bed at 8.
Yeah. And then prefer to sleep by stretching.
He does some stretching.
Stretching, like you say, it's good.
And he needs to.
The next day I don't have.
You don't have some pain muscles.
Okay, that's nice. Stretching helps a lot. Yeah. So Josephine, there's a support system to an athlete, and you are there, the dad is there, the entire family is there. One word, if you can give to that camera and to parents, to guardians, to sisters, siblings as a support system, and maybe you can also tell us, how do you get to balance all this? You're a mother, you're not only a mother to Issa, you have other children, you have your family to look after, you have your work, you still have to come early during winter, ensure he eats by 7:30, family eats by 7:30. How is it juggling all that?
Wow, it's tiring. I think it's tiring for the whole family. Normally when we arrive around winter, we all say, here it comes winter, we are going to get tired. But we are ready for it, because we also like the snow, we also like skiing, the children like skiing. Sometimes when I take him to take his bus or for his races, I ask the brothers and sisters, do you want to come tomorrow? You're not tired? No, we're going to wake up. We're going to wake up at 6. No, we're going to wake up. So normally they do. I think the children do motivate us. The big children do motivate me to wake up and to go. And once we are there, we enjoy it. But I think it's a lot of work as a mother to cook, to clean, to work, and to take them to sport and to do the sport. But I do like it. That's why I appreciate it. And I think we all do live every day. We go to work, we come back home. It becomes a routine. But I think we all need a pause or a time where you get outside to get fresh air. And I think that helps us as parents when we go out with the children. And I would like to motivate all parents who have their children who want to do sports to encourage them, because it's not only playing, it's also good for the health. I noticed that it's good it's a best method of getting tired and sleeping early, eating well. I noticed children naturally go searching the foods that are good for their health. And in the evening, and sometimes when you don't do sport, we do nothing, we just stay at home. I noticed they are more exciting, screaming, doing nasty, not behaving themselves so well. But when you are out, when we do mountain biking, because we also do bike, all of us, or very big, sometimes some running and walking on the mountains. When you come back, I notice students are more calm. We have good communication. We have time to communicate with our children. They have experience that they bring to us. I don't think only parents do educate their children. I think children can educate their parents with their ideas. And because I do work with small children, I have confirmed that since some years now. So I once shared with Kenyans sports who do represent youth in IOC, International Olympic Committee, and she told me it's hard to get a Kenyan mom motivating their children to sport. And she told me, I admire you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize why she told me this, but after some reflections, I realized maybe us as parents, we can tell the children, don't go around, don't go handball, come clean the house, but maybe they need this time to play outside, and then go to school and get ready, clean and wash, but they need this time to play because they learn a lot outside. And they get to get inspired not only around them, but even from outside. I noticed that with Issa, because when he told me I want to represent Kenya, and I also asked him, why do you want to represent Kenya? What do you think? He said, I'm following Kenyan athletes through Instagram. Yes. And what are you seeing? I see this, I see the football, then for the this. I don't follow all that, but there's some information I got from him that help us to reflect. I can't say it's simple, but it's productive. There are fruits behind, and the fruits are good.
And it's worth it.
Yeah, and it's worth it.
Yeah. Definitely, viewers, indeed, it was a great time having you here. And just as you've heard Josephine say, let's support each other. Let's create that support system around young athletes like Issa, around also other athletes who are overgrown. They need that support system. Being an athlete is not easy. But minus that, it's a great honor. We are breaking barriers here at Wima Sports, where indeed we are doing Alpine skiing. And apart from that, see you until next time, viewers. It's your host here signing out, Jermaine. Salute.